Alright guys, welcome back to another reaction video. My name is James.
Ninetailedbrush. I'm Nick.
And today we're going to be reacting to Gladiator. So, I've seen a lot of bits and pieces of this movie. I've never actually seen the whole movie. You've seen the movie. Yep. As usual, Ninetailedbrush has not seen the movie at all. It's kind of a classic. It's got Russel Crow in it, who was in A Beautiful Mind. Oh, okay. So he's going to be, you'll see him pop up in more stuff. You know, it's a bad sign when the only Russel Crowe movie you've seen is Man of Steel. So, you'll be seeing some of his better movies.
This was his giant breakout role.
Was it really his breakout?
I mean, this launched him.
Okay.
He might have been a decent star before then, but this movie was huge.
Yeah, so it's a big movie. Roman. I don't really want to say much more about it. Obviously, we're kind of going on a bit of a classic movie stint. We're doing votes every week, so if you guys want to decide what we're going to watch next week, we don't even know what we're going to watch next week. There's going to be a poll, $1 tier, Patreon, vote. We've been doing, you know, movie versus movie, and we're going to just kind of ride that out with this series and go whatever direction you guys want us to do. So there's a bunch of options, Alien, Terminator, tons of things like that. Just classics. So yeah, as always, full-length reaction is going to be up on Patreon, and then, like I said, if you want to vote for next week, feel free to check that out. And yeah, let's get into this. I think this movie is so long that I've started watching this movie on several occasions and never finished it.
Don't say that. That's a form of blasphemy right there.
Well, it wasn't my choice, but it's just one of those things.
You remember the other huge actor in this, right?
Joaquin Phoenix, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure you knew that was.
There's not somebody else, right?
Well, there's another big actor, but I'm blanking on his name.
No, I have no idea if this is at all historically accurate. I think it's more historically accurate than Braveheart, because I didn't realize how historically inaccurate Braveheart was until we posted it. I want to get more movies in this time period. It's like the coolest costumes and like the coolest setting ever.
I know.
Like, Romans are just cool.
He's got the men's approval.
They like the fur.
Not a sign. How long has he been gone? Nearly 2 hours. Will they fight some? Shall know soon. They say no.
Is this one of Hans Zimmer's breakout scores?
I'm hesitant to say, because I'm sure all the comments will correct us, but I think it's one of the first things I ever heard of his.
I think me too.
3 weeks from now, I will be harvesting my crops. Imagine where you will be. And it will be so. Hold the line. Stay with me. What we do in life echoes in eternity.
Is this one of Hans Zimmer's breakout scores?
I'm hesitant to say, because I'm sure all the comments will correct us, but I think it's one of the first things I ever heard of his.
I think me too.
I totally forgot about it. It's so smart to do it with like the clay, and then it like shatters and burns everything.
Yeah.
This isn't even fair.
I mean, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
Dude, the way Ridley Scott shoots some action shots,
That's
especially
beautiful.
like
Look at
for
that.
2000 to be doing this,
That's all
this
practical.
is groundbreaking.
It's all practical.
Stuff.
It is really cool.
I mean, they have courage to even still be fighting at this point. Like, the sword on fire.
Dude. I wonder, do they really have dogs that went into battle with them and stuff like that?
It's
I don't know if it's time period accurate, but I bet you
That's
they
why I'm
did.
curious. Somebody in the comments.
I mean, if they did that with, you know, even more modern
That's true.
gray stuff.
Have an interesting opening, right?
Yeah.
And now, the 1%.
This guy has the motorhome equivalent of.
This was, you know, a little extravagant, just a bit.
Or maybe. First thing I shall do is honor him with games worthy of his men. How can I reward Rome's greatest general? Let me go.
So that was the Emperor, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the.
Have I missed it? Have I missed the battle?
Oh,
Congratulations.
if that doesn't summarize his character.
Take my arm. I think it is time to make a leave.
This reminds me a lot of Braveheart and how like gritty it is, and I really like that. Like I think a lot of it, not a lot of it. I think some of it comes from lack of being able to choreograph it as much, and stuff like that. But I
Well, I mean, the choreography is very, very good, right?
yeah,
It doesn't look, you know, cheesy at all, right?
Yeah, it feels so real and raw.
But it's like, I like still having the little bit of Hollywood element where it's not like, I don't know, it looks, you know, not as cool or something.
Yeah.
It still looks cool, but they keep that sort of...
they almost emphasize, as opposed to the fighting, the horror of it. Even though the fighting is cool and there's cool elements to it, they focus on something else.
Yeah, they still have that gritty element.
You give your orders, the orders are obeyed, and the battle is won. But these senators scheme, squabble, and flatter and deceive. Maximus, we must save Rome from the politicians, my friend.
I think such an underrated element of movies like this, especially because they're a little bit older, and like I am kind of obsessed with, is the set design. Where it's like, this is all practical, all these costumes are practical, all these backgrounds are practical, there's no green screen for the faraway city, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's,
And
just,
there's
it's
so
so
many
well
people
detailed and it looks so
involved, like,
good.
it's so difficult to do.
Caesar, tell me again, Maximus. Why are we here?
For the glory of the Empire, sir.
You see that map, Maximus? That is the world which I created. For 25 years, I have conquered, spilt blood, expanded the empire. I brought the sword. Nothing more. Caesar, your life, please. Just don't call me that. No. Please. 5,000 of my men are out there in the freezing mud. 3,000 of them are bloodied and cleaved. 2,000 will never leave this place. I will not believe that they fought and died for nothing. What would you believe? They fought for you. I've seen much of the rest of the world. It is brutal and cruel and dark. Rome is the light. Yet you have never been there. There was once a dream that was Rome. You could only whisper it. Anything more than a whisper, and it would vanish. There is one more duty that I ask of you before you go home. What would you have me do, Caesar? I want you to become the protector of Rome after I die.
That's not a small task.
It must be you. Surely a prefect, a senator, somebody who knows the city, who understands her politics. But you have not been corrupted by her politics.
Yeah.
I need some time, sire. My sunset. I hope
I mean,
you will
he
never
so
leave.
doesn't want to. You know he just wants to go
Yeah, of
home.
course.
What do you think behind this?
I think you have a talent for survival.
Maximus, stop.
And I hear you have a son.
Yes. Lucius. He'll be nearly 8 years old.
I really like the dynamic of like people who grew up together before they understood the class separation and the politics of life.
Yeah.
And then like they were just humans, and then you kind of see like the gap.
And I think this movie does a really good job of showing the history of the relationships in a short amount of time.
Yes.
Yes, Father. You will not be emperor. Which was the older man is to take my place. My powers. You passed to Maximus. You wrote to me once, listing the 4 chief virtues: wisdom, justice, fortitude, and temperance. But none of my virtues were on your list. Even then, it was as if you didn't want me for your son. What is this enemy you hate so much? All I've ever wanted was to love you. I would put to the whole world. Do you really love me?
That scene was so well acted by both of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maximus Emperor. And then execute him. And just look at me. Look at me! Promise me that you will look after my family. Your family will meet you in the afterlife.
Dude. I didn't remember that at all. That's such like a backstab.
Dude.
Like, dude, he served with you.
I know he
You
led you in
fought.
battle.
Sometimes it makes the blade stick.
Dude.
Got picked up by like a caravan or something.
Something.
How did the soldiers beat him to his family's estate?
I mean, there could have been a garrison right there.
Okay, and they just sent word?
I'm assuming he
Okay.
was in Germania or whatever, right? And I'm assuming his estate was in Italy. So that's a really long journey, whereas all I had to do
So
was
they just
send
sent word like by
a
bird
raven
or something? Okay.
Yeah.
Mark of the Legion. Deserted. Maybe so, but who cares? These slaves are rotten. Don't ask to the flavor. How long did it take to get into my own house? I am Proximo. I made it so that I could profit from your death. And as your mother was there at your beginning, so I should be there at your end.
I mean, there's something to be said about how straightforward this guy is. I like how quiet Maximus is as a main character. It's very rare. It's like something, I mean, like, yeah, it's rare.
I feel like, too, his whole demeanor since finding his family like that has just changed.
Yeah.
He's a Spaniard. Might as well be a human for what he brings to the ring. 500 sesterci, the Numidian and Spaniard team makes it through. Bet against my own man. It's unethical. What about my
But if there's money in it.
ultimately, we're all dead men. Sadly, we cannot choose how, but in order that we are remembered as men.
Please. It's not even like. Ooh. That guy's just so huge. It's hard for him not to do well.
That's some teamwork.
Yes. Let's go.
My father spent all his time at study. With books, learning and philosophy. He spent his twilight hours reading scrolls from the Senate. Then perhaps Caesar will be so good as to teach us out of his own extensive experience.
Dude, I would watch what you say to the Emperor.
I know.
Now, but if you interrupt me again, I assure you that you shall.
Senator, my brother is very tired. Leave your list with me. Caesar shall do all that Rome requires.
All they do is talk.
Dude, they were barely even lecturing you.
And even if they do talk, like, some of the problems that they were bringing up might be, you know, fairly
Practical,
reasonable,
right? Yeah.
Like, plague stuff and, you know, hygiene.
People are going to be seduced by that. I think he knows what Rome is. Rome is the mob. Conjuring magic for them and they'll be distracted. So they're just not going to pieces. Remember, you are an entertainer.
It's not enough to survive in the pit. Now you have to do it with some style.
You know.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
I just love that in his like the people love him even more for that, even though he legitimately is indifferent to the.
So finally, after 5 years of scratching a living in flea-infested villages, we're finally going back to where we belong. 50,000 Romans. Watching every movement of your sword, willing you to make that killer blow. It rises up like snow. You're a gladiator. Yes, I was. A wooden sword, a symbol of your freedom. I was the best because the crowd loved me. Win the crowd, and you'll win your freedom.
I like the little detail of the guard putting his hand on his sword when he started to walk closer to.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I didn't even
and he
notice
got
that.
I didn't notice that either.
Do you believe you'll see them again when you die? I think so. But then, I will die soon. I'll have to wait. What do you want? Wait. Of course. I'm already waiting for me. Meet them again. But not yet. Not yet.
I think his music is always underrated because everybody just says it sounds like Pirates of the Caribbean, but honestly, the majority of it doesn't. Like it's that one theme, and I
just
actually
the
think
one
it's
theme
good.
during the action.
But I think it's good. It's really good music.
I do too.
Well, I've never seen Pirates of the Caribbean, so I'm gonna say that their music sounds like this.
I mean, it came first. I pretty much don't know what happens after this point.
Oh my, I can't. I wish I was watching this for the first time too.
It's crazy. Like, if we look at it like a wonder now, can you imagine back then?
Yeah, I know.
When it was full?
When you've never seen pictures, like you've never seen anything like this.
I will make Rome the wonder of the ages. That's just what Gracchus and his friends don't understand. All my desires are splitting my head to pieces. I think the time is almost right. I'm going to announce the dissolution of the Senate. A celebration to honor our father. Stay with me tonight.
You know I won't.
And kiss me.
Sleep now.
The Senate did not approve martial law. This reign of terror is entirely the Praetorians. I'm afraid to go out after dark. And what pays for it? These daily games are costing a fortune. Yet we have no new tax.
He's selling Rome's reserves of grain. The people will be starving in 2 years.
But it's not his problem.
Soon enough they'll be dead because of it.
Yeah.
They have good horses in Spain.
Some of the best. This is Argento. This is Scott. Never my horses. Master Lucius, it is time.
I have to go.
My name is Lucius.
Now he finally knows. I know that helmet.
This is the big stage.
Dude, I love how they show it from their point of view.
Dude.
Look
How
at
the heck
that.
did they film this? Someone push this guy in. Come on.
Honestly.
There stood the invincible armies of the barbarian Hannibal.
You know you're screwed when you're in the middle of a freaking Roman arena and you're the barbarian horde.
We've got a better chance of survival if we work together. You understand?
Honestly, come
We stay
on.
together, we survive.
Oh, dude, what? Okay.
A little bit of an advantage to the
Yeah.
Roman side here.
Oh no. You just have to form a thing and
Yeah.
he spears like pikes or something.
Something. Yeah, there we go.
What are you doing out there, dude? Like,
Yeah, who are these two
What are they
guys
still
it's like
doing?
literally the only people that die.
Holy.
Passing by. Oh, nice.
Shh. Let's go. Oh, oh. Oh, jeez. Let's go, dude. Oh, let's go. You have a weapon. That's sick. Did he just hit him in the face? Shh. Dude.
Think I'll meet you. Yes, sir.
Uh-oh.
I do like that even in his vengeance, whatever audience with the Emperor, anything like that, he still is like not, like he didn't have to stick with everybody else. And I don't think he did it just out of survival.
No.
And so he did. He protect his fellow, like, I don't know, there's just some
I think
honor
the
in
group
what
of
he
them
does.
are like comrades now.
But that's cool. I like that.
Can't. He's not gonna be able to.
Why doesn't the hero reveal himself and tell us all your real name? How dare you show your back to me? Slave! You will remove your helmet and tell me your name. My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix legions. Loyal servant to the true Emperor Marcus Aurelius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance.
I don't know if the people are gonna like that.
Nope.
Really. But that's the game you played, right?
Yes.
To get on that side of the people. It's like now who really has the power, kind of, right?
Well, I mean, I think it's interesting, right? Where it's like I don't think he did have any power, and so because there was no power, he's at the mercy of the mob.
Prison of fear since that day. To be unable to mourn your father for fear of your brother. Must my son die too before he will trust me?
What does it matter if I trust you or not? I am at their mercy, with the power only to amuse a mob.
That is power. The mob is Rome, and while Commodus controls them, he controls everything.
I may die in the cell tonight or in the arena tomorrow. I am a slave. What possible difference can I make?
This man wants what you want.
Then have him kill Commodus!
They must have known of Maximus's escape when they found the marches of the four men.
I thought it was a barbarian raid. These are good men, sire.
I never told me.
I didn't know.
You did know. But a general is always in control. Always in command. Then give the command. Say it.
Do you guys think the sister did that on purpose because she knew that would be an unpopular move with the army?
Do you think she set it up?
Well, she said when he asked her, like, how would you deal with it? And she said,
Yeah,
like,
I think so.
That's what I kind of think.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is pretty brutal of her.
Yeah.
But I think that was her strategy.
Yeah, I think that was a strategy.
Oh, dang. That's like big brain.
Because, I mean, it was right after she was talking about that he needed to die.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
That's
That's
true.
what
That's
she
true.
should be thinking.
You're right. They just call him General?
Well, now that they know.
Yeah, now that they know who he really is.
I know, but still.
I know.
I was faking it.
You say that, but what if it's a slow-acting
I know,
poison?
like-
You said it's going to kill you right away. Literally bred in circuses.
Yes.
We can celebrate the 64th day of the games.
64 days?
In his majestic charity, returning to the Colosseum today after 5 years in retirement, the only undefeated champion in Roman history, the legendary...
Alright, we got a boss fight. Let's go.
Yeah, see? She is constantly.
She's playing him.
Yeah.
This guy's like a Roman Joe Rogan.
Frick! Ah. Spicing it up a little bit.
Holy. It's a real freaking tiger.
Oh, nice.
That's right.
Is he gonna do it?
Dude.
That is such blatant defiance. That's got to be exciting for the crowd to see
Yes.
someone do that to the Emperor,
Yeah,
too.
like he's doing his own thing.
Oh.
You simply won't die. Are we so different, you and I? You take life when you have to, as I do. They tell me your son squealed like a girl when they nailed him to the cross. Again, and again, and again.
Toss him a sword. Be like, square up, dude.
Let's go.
That's what I'd do.
I like. Oh, sorry.
So sure, the people want to see him versus the Emperor. That'd be crazy.
And now they love Maximus for his mercy.
I feel like something that's really interesting too is that he doesn't even understand why the people like Maximus. Like he can't comprehend it.
Yeah.
Nightmare. Kill him. No. I will not make a martyr of him.
That's true. You can't just murder him.
But that's
the people.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He put himself in this box.
Yes,
Like,
Yeah.
yes.
Even the insolence of Gracchus was silent as a mouse. Why? I have been told of a certain sea snake which has a very unusual method of attracting its prey. But then its enemies will take little bites of it, and yet it remains still. How long have the men been in Ostia? Winter. How do they look? Fat and bored. Come on. So far from Rome. How soon do you think they could be ready to fight? Tomorrow.
Yeah, like start a full-on revolution.
Does he know what's going on?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I'm sure he's getting a pretty penny either way, so he's okay.
I hope my coming here today is evidence enough that you can trust me.
Get me outside the city walls. Have fresh horses ready to take me to Ostia. My army is encamped there. By nightfall of the second day, I shall return at the head of 5,000 men.
But the legions all have new commanders.
No Roman army has entered the capital in 100 years. I will not trade one dictatorship for another.
The time for half measures and talk is over. The soldiers will stay for your protection under the command of the Senate.
So, once all of Rome is yours, you'll just give it back to the people.
Still better than this dude.
I will kill Commodus. The fate of Rome, I leave to you.
Even if he doesn't give it back to the people, like, I would still say, like, just looking at his character, he's probably better
Oh, he'd be
suited.
such a better ruler for Rome.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Where have you been? I sent for you.
Please, brother.
I thought you'd seen him. He infects everyone like a putrid fever. For the health of the Roman Senate must be bled. And he will bleed too. Do you remember what our father said once? It's a dream. A frightful dream.
Yeah, bro, you gotta get stuff moving, man, because
That's such a tense, uncomfortable scene,
so
man.
weird.
We must leave tonight. Russel will come at midnight and take you to the gate. I have much to pay for.
You have nothing to pay for. You love your son. You're strong for him.
My brother hates all the world. And you most of all.
Because your father chose me.
And because I loved you.
A long time
Great.
Legionnaire.
I'm not a legionnaire. I'm a gladiator.
No.
Gladiator.
Don't say it.
Gladiators only fight in the games.
And Maximus, the savior of Rome.
Savior of Rome. And you said that. So do I. Sister, join us. I've been reading to dear Lucius.
I've been reading too.
Yes, he's a very clever little boy. He went out late at night and conspired. And conspired. But the Emperor Claudius knew that they were up to something. And he looked at her. And he said, "Tell me what you've been doing. Busy, little bee." And the Emperor was heartbroken. Little bee had wounded him more deeply than anyone else could ever have done.
Jeez. They have to go quick, dude. Like that. Oh, they're
just
screwed.
gonna
They're all
start
screwed.
purging people.
Yeah, he's just gonna kill everybody. Holy
God.
what?
Seems like one new freedom. You're in danger of becoming a good man. We wait here for you, Maximus. Straight ahead. Go.
I love how loyal they all are.
They had the same phrase.
I know, it's the army, right?
Dang. Did she tell them? Dang it.
Yeah.
It's done. What if I love you?
Oh, this guy.
Is this literally the
This
guy? Oh my
yes.
Listen.
gosh. That's an awesome quote.
Max. 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 The general who became a slave. A slave who became a gladiator. Only a famous death will do. What could be more glorious than to challenge the Emperor himself in the great arena? Smile for me now, brother.
Dude, what?
There's no way he's going in on a fair fight against Maximus.
I
No
literally
way.
didn't know. All I knew was that they fight at the end. I literally did not know about the whole middle part. The whole arena covered in roses. That's just. I still feel like he could honestly beat him because he's still a better soldier.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's been in battle. Like,
Yeah.
experience is a whole, like.
But it is 1v1, which is different.
Quintus, sword! Give me your sword!
Don't. Come on. That's right.
Oh my. Dude.
He's in need of sword.
I wonder if he's ever been hit in his face in his whole
And probably
life.
never.
Dr. Gracchus is to be reinstated. There was a dream that was wrong. It shall be realized. These are the wishes of Marcus Aurelius.
It was a Russel Crow. Honor him.
Who will help me, Captain?
What'd you think?
It was good, dude.
Yeah?
Is it like
think
a
it's my-
masterpiece? Come on.
I
mean,
honestly literally thought that, like, they fought and then he just challenged the emperor. Like, I did not know the whole middle, like, politics part. I legitimately didn't know any of that happened. I just knew that he fights the emperor at the end and dies, and I figured he just pissed him off or something. That was so awesome. It was like an epic. Like, it was long, but it needed to be that.
I like the... I don't know, I just like the Gladiators a lot. Like, how they... It surprised me how they kind of, banded together like that, right? It just shows how, great of a man Maximus was, to everyone.
Yeah. It's a really interesting way of doing vengeance, because so often it's just like you want revenge, but it was almost more like justice. I don't know, the way they did it was very unique.
It did feel a lot like justice. You're
Right,
right. It didn't feel like...
And Maximus wasn't like obsessed with it. It was more of the idea of like, it's not my time to die yet, and so I won't die yet. And I don't know, I liked that. I thought that was cool, kind of.
I just like rewatching it. Like, appreciate so much, like everything that Ridley Scott did. From there's so many shots that I thought were so perfectly colored. Yes. And then he did wides when you really wanted to take in the scenery and the location, and then some way he would frame, those shots we love with people's faces here in the foreground and someone in the background. Just the way the scenes unfolded and how he directed it, I really have a newfound appreciation for how well he did the story.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it. I mean, obviously Joaquin Phoenix was amazing.
Yeah.
He really was.
And he's the villain.
He's Commodus.
Yeah. Which is such a great villain. And I mean, there's a lot there with like the whole... I mean, I think there's definitely, you can make an argument that it's not completely his fault. And like his dad raised him badly. Kind of. But then at the same time, I feel like he kind of leaned on that.
Well, yeah, I feel like that's with like a lot of, villains. You can't, just, I don't know, clear them of blame just because they had a hard childhood. It's like, okay, yes, it is understandable, but in the present and what is happening now, even though it may be harder for you, you still have a choice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, otherwise we could, excuse a lot of things that occur.
Yeah.
So,
I really like how he's a villain who is weak but still threatening.
Yeah.
Like, I still felt nervous, like, with the, like, he was weak, but not in a wimpy way. Like, he was a good villain for the story.
That's true. That's a really good way of putting it. I mean, I really liked I feel like it said a lot about, like, leadership, and I think it's super interesting with, like, Commodus and Maximus, obviously. Like, there's kind of that theme, but I think it's a very interesting theme where it's like that. I don't know, like, if you have... It's like on stage a lot of times. It's like, look, if you're acting well, people can tell, even if they can't tell, like, specifically what you have in mind or what the backstory of your character is. There is a tangible shift in what it looks like what it looks like. And I feel like it's kind of the same with the leadership, where it's like people can tell, like, you can be fake, but at a certain point people can tell, and it's tangible, and you can't put your finger on it, but it's just... that's how humans are, and you can tell when someone means well or has good intentions or is a good person, as opposed to somebody who's just out there for themselves, like, no matter how much they give you.
Well, I also feel like there's a sort of theme about a type of power that you kind of have, and whereas Commodus kind of fed the desires of the people that allowed him to control them in a certain way, but they weren't following him. They were following what he gave them.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, obviously Maximus led, you know, with
Rome.
himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and the people followed him, not what he kind of gave them. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think obviously what's stronger is, you know, Maximus' side of things, because once you lose that, I don't know, whatever you can give to them, they're just gonna, you know, give up.
Yeah,
on
then
you.
they have nothing holding them to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like at the end, they're like, I mean, he's just dead. No one really cares.
Yeah,
about
no
him,
one
you know?
cares.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Yeah, but I like that. I liked the dynamic. I liked that they didn't really push the romance between him and the sister, because I think that would have been kind of annoying. I liked that they kind of left it as is. I liked her arc where, in an odd way, she kind of did the good, but then at the same time, she didn't totally. I don't know, it felt very real, right? There's always
Yeah.
going to be those people in the middle who are, like, trying to survive, and it's very hard to navigate that, because it's like, look, her son was on the line.
Yeah.
So it was interesting because it was like a weird, you know, normally there's a character change, but like she kind of changed, but then not really, because then she got in trouble and like she really had no other option. So it was interesting. I liked that it wasn't just like, you know, sometimes it added a nuance to it too, where it's like, look, you can be a hero, but there are times where I feel like it highlighted the idea where she was like, it's easier to be a soldier sometimes than it is to do what I do. And I liked that. I thought that was cool. Like I liked that she still strove to do the right thing, but they also made a point to be like, well, there's some situations that are a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, like whereas on the battlefield it is, you know, you can say that it is in ways a lot more simpler, right? You got the enemy, and you basically
At least in this
fight.
instance,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Whereas a lot of times, politically speaking, and you know, where you're not fighting with your physical,
Not straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a lot more complicated.
And as a mother, like, what an impossible situation.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do when your son's being threatened?
Yeah, exactly.
Did
But-
you guys did you guys think Commodus was insane? Like, obviously he's unstable. Do you think? Because obviously some of the Roman emperors really went crazy. What did you guys think about that?
I mean, I don't know, define, like that's such a, I feel like that's such a vague thing, right? Like, I think he was unstable.
Meaning, like,
I
was
think
there
he
a
had
genetic,
mental
like,
issues.
like, was there a bit of insanity?
I don't
in
think
his
he-
villain.
I don't think he was completely gone, no.
No,
I don't think he's
like-
completely gone. But do you guys think there, like, were they?
No, because there wasn't any in
implying
the
that?
father. I feel like they would have showed it with the father. And the sister were totally normal.
Yeah, well, like,
Like, I feel like it might have been because of childhood instability, but I feel like that's different than, like, genetic insanity.
Okay.
I don't know.
I just was curious what you guys thought.
What do you think?
I don't think he's insane. Right? That's very, like, if we want to be like, you're clinically insane, I mean, I don't think he's that.
Okay.
Now, of course, from maybe some of his, like, childhood experiences, how he was raised, he is not the norm, you know, and he might be a little, I don't know, polarized in certain
He
times.
had
right?
issues,
Yeah.
like, for sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like you can't really, I don't know, you can't really say, like, call that insanity, or, because I feel like then you're kind of leaning on some sort of medical, I don't know.
If it was in court,
Diagnosis.
I wouldn't claim insanity.
I just curious. I don't know. That's
I
something
actually-
I actually don't know. Rewatching,
I feel like
what
it takes.
think.
I feel like it would take a little bit away from him as a villain, if he was like, he had less agency. Like, I feel like, obviously it's understandable, and that's why I like it, because it's understandable, and then you see it kind of like slowly divulge into this weird, twisted, like, cycle of paranoia, and like some of the stuff he was catching, I don't even think he was catching them by actual evidence, but he was just paranoid about everything, and I think coincidentally he like caught his sister and things like that. You know what I mean? Like, I think he was like unraveling.
Well, I mean, he caught his sister because the kid, right? Telling him
Yeah.
that they,
Oh
Yeah,
that's
right.
true,
When
that's
he
true,
said
that's
that,
true.
then the kid who's just
Oh, true.
that whole sequence of the movie is so
Dude,
good.
yes.
There's so many scenes where I just thought were so well executed.
Yeah.
Like the tension or the
Everything,
emotion of the
yes.
moment.
Dude, yeah. And like when him and Maximus were faced, like, that was so great. It was just a great movie.
Did you know any of the quotes, like any of the famous quotes, like "Are you not entertained?" Like, I don't know if you had been
No.
exposed
You
to any
didn't
of it.
know?
Okay,
Oh
some
my
of them
gosh.
I was so excited for you to
That's so
see, like
famous.
that, or like when he actually faces off and is like, "I'm Maximus," like that stare down.
Yes.
Like those
That
are
is
just famous
yes.
movie moments.
Okay, so
Yeah.
And that helmet is like legendary.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah, obviously, thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know what you guys want us to watch next as far as classic movies. We're going to have a poll up on Patreon. Full-length reaction's also going to be up on Patreon if you want to go check that out. But either way, thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. I am excited to kind of get into some more classic movies because it's, these are things that I either grew up watching or I've been wanting to watch and just haven't ever had the time. So it's really cool. It's like a highly intense film study course that is also fun and that you guys want to watch with us. So it's great. So let us know what you guys want us to watch next. Thank you so much for watching, supporting everything. Patrons, everybody, subscribers. Seriously. Thank you. And yeah, we will see you all in the next video.